Gene here with Escape to Gaming. Today I want to talk about the word community and what it means to me. I've seen a rash of videos and people talking about it on Facebook. I got into a conversation with Scott Bailey on the word community, and he seemed to think it was overused, and perhaps it is. I never really thought of it until someone made a point of it. He was commenting on a video that was posted on this thing, or maybe he posted it on his Facebook site. And I've had other people talking about, the pluses and negatives of YouTube and the gaming community, as it's called. But to me, a rose by any other name is still a rose. It doesn't really matter what you call it. They said the word immersion's overused too. So, what's next? Fun factor? We won't be able to say that anymore. In our reviews, I don't know. I guess everyone has their own point of reference as to what gets under their skin and what doesn't. To me, the things that really get under my skin is like when Google merged with YouTube, and I couldn't respond to my own comments on my own channel for like 6 weeks. To me, that bothered me. Game-breaking bug that fucks me over, and the Mad Max game. That's certainly a rant to get angry, but I try to save those angry rants for something that's like a serious thing, or something that I think is serious. It's impinging on the gaming industry that we love, something that threatens our YouTube. The fair use thing has certainly been talked about a lot lately. I'll discuss gaming news a little bit once in a while if it's something I really find fascinating. But for the most part, I just like the tides of an ocean. It ebbs and flows. Gaming news is always there. Every day there'll be some drama or there'll be some news that you can react to, you can respond to. You can do a clickbait video and get hundreds of views or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But long before I was a part of this gaming community or association or affiliation or group, whatever you want to call it. I've been part of many. I purposely wore this old T-shirt from my old car club, Mojave Desert Classics. I belonged to them for a couple of years when I lived in the high desert of California, and it was a great group of guys. We'd meet like the third Thursday of every month at this great restaurant with this wonderful home-cooked meals and pies, and we'd bring all of our hot rods and cars there. We'd spend hours there. And then every Saturday morning, we'd caravan down to our favorite coffee place for bagels and cream cheese and, coffee for breakfast. Sometimes we'd caravan to another place, for breakfast. And some of us would drive off to a park and go to a car show. And it was just great. It was just nice to belong to like-minded dudes. After I lost everything in the economic collapse of 2007 and had to sell off all my cars for a whole year to just pay my mortgage payment, and then lost the house anyway. I'll never see those muscle cars back, and so sadly, that's a part of my life that's gone, although I still have this wonderful T-shirt and digital photos of my various muscle cars and hot rods or whatever. But, things come and go in your life. It's just what life is. That's why I like gaming, because it's an attainable goal. It doesn't cost that much money, and people are just as passionate about gaming as they are cars. In the early 90s, I belonged to a martial arts group, and we'd tour California in our black belt tournaments, and I'd either be in a tournament myself or be supporting my friends, part of our black belt team or whatever. My karate teacher would call me often at the last minute, "Hey Dean, how'd you like to go up to Santa Rosa, fly up from LA, or we're going to go see a tournament, my brother's up there." "Well, let's go, it sounds fun." We'd have a great time and then get drunk afterwards. And so that was a great association to belong to. We didn't really call it a community, we call it like an association. I have two automotive art groups. One of them they call it a group, the other one they call it an association that I belong to, and we're just nothing but automotive artists. There's quite a few of us. So, and then I also have a couple film groups I belong to as well. We discuss movies and whatever, and once in a blue moon I do my Escape to Cinema videos, which are fun. I kind of miss those and would like to return to those. So I have so many groups I belong to that, to me, I use the word community for some reason with gaming, but I really have not used that term, even though it's the identical term, group or affiliation or association, whatever you choose to call it. Like I said, a rose by any other name is still a rose. It doesn't really matter. But it's I'll tell you what the community means to me. This is really what I wanted to talk about. I just came back from work. I'm really sore, just dying. I barely get my truck home. I wanted to do this rant. I was tempted to take in my truck and try to film it driving, but I can't. With one hand holding the camera, another hand holding my A-pillar handle, trying to ease the support from my back. It's been tough. So pardon my doped up narcotic state of mind right now, but I'm doing the best I can to get through this because it's a good rant. It's something that is worthy of talking about. And I've talked about, I think a long year or two ago, I did a video on what YouTube means to me. And this is kind of on the coattails of that. It's nice to belong to a brotherhood of guys, and there's might even be a couple gals involved. I haven't known any of them, but if they are, that's great. It doesn't matter to me what color they are, what race they are, their politics, religion. It's a fact that we all share something we love, which is video games. Now, some of them are divided up into, and I've kind of evolved into this group of retro gamers, and Retro Unlimited is something I was invited to. And I kind of liked it because I liked even the little videos. I mean, it just dealt with the retro aspect of 80s politics, movies, films, pop culture. And so for that reason, I was invited by Steven to join Retro Unlimited. I'm glad that I did. It's a great brotherhood. It's another affiliation I like belonging to. Most of them are in the UK, sadly, to where I feel alienated. They have these wonderful black pool events, I think they're called, where they meet up in some part of England at a kind of a seaside community, and there's big arcades and the conventions, and guys are buying and selling stuff, and they can visit all the other YouTubers, and I envy that you guys live in a country that's about the size of California by the looks of it, but you're able to meet up and meet with one another, and I think that is so cool. I envy that. I have a couple YouTubers down in Southern California, about 7.5 hours drive from here, or an hour and 15-minute flight from here if I have the big bucks to fly down there. And it's great seeing them. I see, Cameron from Industrial Gamer once a year. I've got some other good friends down there as well. That Maurice, another one who I've yet to meet down in Southern California, he's got a really big YouTube channel. There's a lot of fighting game, gameplay videos and stuff. And he's a great friend. I've yet to meet him. I have a new friend, Angel Sanchez, down there is a gamer in the Ontario area. I've yet to hook up with him, although he said he might be visiting up here in Sacramento, which would be great. I'd love to see him. I got Jimmy from Lots of Games I'm friends with on Facebook. He lives over here in the Bay Area, about 90 minutes away, tops, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. I don't know him really well enough to go over and say, hey, let's hang out. But it'd be tempting, just because he's another big YouTuber. It'd be nice to so I miss that. That's kind of what I'm getting to, is that unfortunately I belong to a brotherhood where I feel like I'm on an island somewhere, desert island. And so it's only through, via Twitter and Facebook and YouTube that I'm able to have this kind of a relationship, with my good friends that are in the gaming community. I think it's great. I'd love to spend more time with them. I envy the one-on-one relationships and the fun and the drinks and the beers they can hoist and the wonderful meals and all that stuff. I mean, to me, that's what I miss about split screen on the couch with my best friends on Friday or Saturday nights. We used to have it was like a weekly thing. We'd have a couple of my buds would come over and my Laura would make drinks. And we drink rum drinks and get stoned out of our mind and play video games and have a great time and laugh our ass off. Sometimes a party would last all night. You'd wake up the bottom of a stairwell or something like in your apartment complex. How the fuck did I get down here? But those were great times. I look back with fondness at some of those wild days of, partying all around the PlayStation console in the mid-90s. It was so much fun. I kind of miss that. I'm old-fashioned, so I miss the one-on-one interaction with humans. So the next best thing for me is the gaming community. And to me, it's like gaming in general, because I'm a gamer. I like to game modern games. Lately, I've been on this kick with, older games, and that's great, too. I mean, I'm dying to... I'm trying to figure out how I can get some, PlayStation 1 gameplay on my PS3 and capture it. I'm having some problems for some reason getting the settings dialed in on my PS3, so it's kind of problematic at the moment. But I'm working on it because I'd like to do some more, game reviews and PS1 gameplay, like my wonderful Duke Nukem Time to Kill game, and so many other great games that I love for the PS1. It'd be so cool. So I've got it set up to do PS2 and original Xbox games, and it works great for that. I can record those with component cables. It works good. Using the PS1 or the PS2 with composite cables just looks like crap. So I haven't been real intrigued with doing a lot. I did a PS1 favorites, and the little demos and the gameplay look really rough because it's just kind of a crude, like a fourth generation Xerox copy. It just looks terrible in composite. But anyway, getting back to the community. To me, it's a gaming community. I like it all, almost equally, retro games and new games. Lately, I've been on kind of leaning towards a retro kick, and I've been focusing on collecting the retro games that many of us love. Now, my taste is different from many others. There's other channels where that's all they do is just retro stuff. I would just watch Steve Benway. I haven't watched poor Steve in a while. I miss his vlogs. I really miss his Friday talkies and those long walks in the woods. To me, I watch Steve Benway to watch his just intelligent, wonderful, delightful vlogs. I could listen to hours. Even my wife enjoyed listening to him in the background and would often comment, "Oh, that's your friend Steve. Yeah, I really like him." And she'd actually listen to quite a few of his vlogs. And I miss that. We had a Steel Empire gameplay video, and I love Steel Empire. And I actually finally, thanks to one of my good friends, Clint, got that game for my Sega Genesis. It's one of my top 5 favorite games for that system. So it was nice. I hadn't talked to Steve in a while, and I made a little comment on his video, told him how much I enjoyed his commentary and his gameplay. I wish, he's doing a university deal now, so it's kind of hard for him to invest the time like he used to in YouTube, but that's okay. I respect everyone's time frame. They can bring to YouTube what they want, when they can, and whatever it is, it's welcome, and I enjoy it. Dave Wade of Juan Boys Post 1975 used to do wonderful vlogs. I haven't seen too many of them. I did watch one he did recently. In fact, that's kind of what prompted this video. He did one on, someone asked me about the negativity on YouTube and how do you deal with it or whatever. And it was a good point. He doesn't really come across too much of it because he stays around positive groups of people. And kind of like Steve Benway, if someone's an asshole to him, he blocks and deletes, and that's really the best method. Fortunately, I've only had to block one person since 2012 that was just out of control with threats and just wouldn't leave me alone, texting and PMing, and it just somehow got his feelings hurt, and I couldn't reason with him. And when people become, psychotic, then you have to make, new choices, unfortunately, and I felt bad. And so you have to block those people. I don't like to do that. I've only had to block, I think, the one person. I've had 3 people in the last 4 years I've had to kind of part my ways with, which is unfortunate. One of them's a good-sized YouTuber in the community, I might add, who I'd Skype with and talk with, and I thought we were friends. I thought he respected me. And one day he just was like upset because his channel's much bigger than mine, and he's like, "You get more views and much more likes in your videos than I do. It's not fair," And I'm like, I was speechless. I was like, what am I supposed to say to that? I'm like, "I'm sorry, I get more views than you." I don't do that many videos, dude. When you do videos every single day, and long videos, and tons of them, maybe you're just oversaturating, your subs, and they can only kind of pick and choose and watch so much. I don't know. I've tried to reassure him, but he was getting agitated, and all of a sudden he abruptly had to end the Skype call. As you can see, he's like irritated with me. And I was being nothing but kind to him. So then we had some other interaction on YouTube, unfortunately. And that was the end of that. I just, I didn't block him. I just, unsubbed to him, and I don't comment on his videos. I sent him a PM. Please don't comment on my videos anymore. If you're going to be combative and, be combative with me on my own channel, I said I don't really like that. So my policy with anything difficult, kind of getting to Dave's point at Lawn Boys Post 1975, my rule of thumb is I give everyone 3 chances. Someone told me this a long time ago, and it took me a while to implement it, but it really makes sense. And so I had this problem with this fellow a couple times, and I kind of warned him. I said, I really don't appreciate this. I was very candid with him. I just said, oh, all right, well, I'm, sorry you feel that way, but that's just how I feel. And I go, no, I can understand. And that was the end of it. But he kind of kept coming back to the point, and he was like irritated. You can see that it's like a resentment or something. And I'm like, dude, you've got a much bigger channel. You're much more popular in the community than me. I don't understand where this is coming from. But it is what it is. I mean, just the way it is. One of the other people was a guy I talked about that I had to block, and recently had someone that I just parted ways with. He had his third chance, and someone who's difficult, who's just kind of arrogant, cocky, in your face, likes to get one over and put you down at your expense to look good with his mate, so you can feel 4 inches higher or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Everyone's got their own deal. You can just tell when people just really don't like you or don't respect you or your channel. That's fine. Not all of us are going to like everyone and respect everyone. I've mentioned that before. I've had many people that sub, they watched for a couple of weeks, and then they unsub. Maybe they didn't like me, they didn't like what I had to say, they don't like my persona, they don't like my old-fashioned Fred Flintstone attitude about gaming, and how, I had another friend, actually, there was a fourth person who we had a problem with back in like the late 2012 when my channel first started. I had like 50 subs. And I remember the new Xbox was coming out, and they had the Kinect attached to it. And he still to this day is like a vehement Xbox type person. That's fine. He loves the Xbox One. That's great. If you're having fun with it and it hasn't bricked on you, and you're happy with it, he bought it right off the bat with the Force Connect and all that. That's fine. But I had a problem with it from I'm old-fashioned, kind of the George Orwell 1984 deal. I just didn't like the Force Connect, and is it watching all the time? I was irritated that I'd have to buy this gadget that I had no love for and really didn't want. I didn't want it for the 360. I sure as hell don't want it for my next-gen console. Then the DRM thing. I had multiple issues. They're very unfriendly attitude towards, if you don't like our new Xbox One, we have the perfect console for you. It's called the Xbox 360, very condescendingly. What about our military men that can't? Well, that's too bad. We have an Xbox 360 for them. All of that information I magically was pulled from the internet, where you couldn't find a trace of Microsoft's comments. But to Microsoft's credit, they reversed this policy eventually with the Kinect and with the DRM and all these other things, and they're selling them like hotcakes now, and that's great. I still don't, frankly, see a need to buy one, and I don't have the money for one right now anyway, even if I wanted one. But at the time, this friend of mine, it was like we were the best of friends. I had supported his channel. I'd given him over $500 worth of games over that course of 2012 and into 2013 for almost a year. Every time I'd buy a new game, I'd pre-order one for him and enjoyed it. I loved his channel. He had showed me the ropes with YouTube, and I to this day have the utmost respect. Well, something happened around that time, and he's kind of gone off from YouTube. He hasn't done a video in the longest time. He's got a great channel, a very witty, intellectual, fascinating person, and I think the world of him. And we kind of finally hooked up about a year or so ago. He approached me through a private PM. We'd kind of gone our separate ways. I remember what it was. He made fun of me on Facebook and humiliated me in front of a bunch of friends. Oh, you're one of those old-fashioned tinfoil hat wearing, motherfuckers and all this stuff. And I'm like, well, if that's how you see me, I can't change your point of view. Something I learned a long time ago is you'll never convince someone against their will. If they have a preconceived notion as to who you are or what you're all about, good luck trying to change that. So I just said, and I said, I don't appreciate your humiliating me in front of everyone in a PM, well, what's the matter? You just can't take it, And I said, well, you just are the type to where you like to come out always on top. You like to win and grind people down at the same time. And we just went our separate ways. That was the end of it. I just unsubbed to his channel and stopped and defriended him on Facebook. That was the end of it. But, he was man enough. He said about a year ago, he sent me a really nice PM. Dean, I really feel bad. If you want, I'll pay you back for all those games. I mean, I really feel bad. You really did do a lot of nice things for me. And I should have been more open-minded with her point of view. And I felt bad. I said, look, I apologize too. I shouldn't have been so anti-Xbox One and all this stuff. And now we're the greatest of friends. We get along great. I said, now keep your $500. Don't worry about it. I didn't give those to you so I could get paid back. I wanted to do it for you, and that's why I do it. So I've given to Classic Game Room, I gave to this other fellow. I give what I can when I have it to give. And now people have been giving things to me, which is unsolicited. I'm shocked, I'm surprised. But I appreciate it. To me, I don't want to deny someone the wonderful feeling of feeling good and giving a nice gift. I think that's nice. I know how nice I felt, giving to Mark Bussell Classic Game Room, the El Camino painting, and a myriad of games and little classic muscle cars and die-cast cars for him to review. It made me feel good to be a part of something. And recently, he was almost lost his channel, as he's one of the early community members. I kind of miss that I missed out in the early heyday of YouTube, back when Mark was first on there and some of these other big YouTubers. That would have been a great time. And I've heard that that's when the community, as it was called, and still is, really flourished. And I think that's nice. I think that was something that's been missed. Now everyone and their brother's, cat has a YouTube channel. And so you feel like you're lost in a giant ocean. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little ant on a leaf on a mighty river heading out to the ocean on YouTube. You feel so insignificant. Like I said before, the subs don't mean anything. I've got 500 subs, and believe me, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have them, but yet I only get consistently a couple hundred views. So of the 500, you only get 200. And I have friends of mine that have twice as many subs as I do, but they don't get near the views or the likes, the comments. So I don't know. I don't know how I've eventually attracted a decent group of like-minded gamers and retro gamers and friends, and I like that. I like the fact that they're there for me, and I can be there for them, and it's like a brotherhood. It's just like going back to my car club days. The only thing I miss is the physical interaction and laughing at someone that's cutting up and having a joke, and having a drink with them and stuff like that. The human interaction can't be replaced. That's the one thing that's really lacking with YouTube. I got so many great friends who I love in Greece and Australia, in Germany and Sweden, and I've got all over Europe and especially England. I've got so many wonderful friends in the UK, a lot more than I have here in the States. Probably even more UK viewers I've got in the States, and some up in Canada as well. And then a whole bunch in New York and the East Coast and Pennsylvania and Florida and Texas and Oklahoma and Arizona and New Mexico. It's great. But they're a million miles away, so I kind of feel alienated sometimes on YouTube, to be honest with you. That's my only complaint about being in the community, is that I feel kind of alien, so far from everyone and everything. So that's why I live for the social media aspect of it. That, to me, is everything. I don't do the Patron thing. Initially, when people started doing it, I really didn't have an issue with it. I'm like, well, that's good. They need support. This is their full-time job. Then I wish I could support them financially. I'm not doing so well this last year or so, so I don't have the money to back people. And I love to help Mark Bussell out. I love to give him $500 or $1,000 a year. Here, bud. Here's, I hope it helps. And no, it's not much, but to keep my favorite YouTubers going. There's a couple of them. Phil at DSP. If I had the money, I think the world of him. I would love to support him. I just don't have the wherewithal right now. I can barely support myself and my wife right now. I've got a good-sized job right now, and thank God for that. It'll give me money to last for months, probably just enough to get through the surgery, and then I don't know what I'm going to do financially afterwards. But I've had so many wonderful, supportive friends that have had so many kind words and sent me wonderful gifts and wonderful cards and just wonderful PMs and nice comments on my videos. To me, it is precious to me. It means everything. I think many of us are into YouTube for different reasons. You get some people that just never interact with their audience or their fans or viewers, whatever you want to call them. I don't get hung up on the fans and all that stuff either. I don't know what to, I call them friends and viewers, I guess. And I call them viewers because they view and they never comment. And then once a year, you'll say something, it'll have some resonance with them, and they'll all of a sudden out of left field, oh, I watch your videos all the time. I love your channel, and I like what you're saying, especially on this. And I'm like, oh, well, good. This is the first I've heard of it. I don't know. So I mean, I can check my analytics and it shows how many people in the UK have watched me and how many in Japan and Spain and Australia. And well, I got 3 views from Texas, 1 from Oklahoma. Well, the one from Oklahoma is my friend Gary, and the one from New Mexico is my friend Rob. And some of them I kind of know who they are based on the states. It shows in my analytics. But I don't know. You just don't know. So I'm not into the whole Patron thing. And now that more people are doing it, it's almost, you almost feel like a second-class citizen or friend or fan or whatever, because you can't financially support them. So it's like, be a Patron supporter and you'll belong to the special club within the club. You'll get to see the videos early. You'll get, to ask me questions where no one else is worthy enough. And so I've kind of my view has changed on the, I call it Patron, Patreon, whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. But it is what it is. I mean, people want to do that. They're just trying to support their channel. I don't want to pick it apart. It's not my thing. I feel a little uncomfortable with it. Even with my good buddy Mark Bustler, it's like now they're doing so well with it. It's like they only kind of interact with the people that are their best supporters. And you feel left out. You feel like kind of a fifth wheel because of that. Oh man, I stretch my back. But it is what it is. I mean, I just make the best of the situation. And I'm just happy still to be a part of the gaming community or group as a whole. I think it's a wonderful thing. I'm really happy that I have something to offer that for whatever reason people like, an old man's perspective, kind of old-fashioned dude. I don't always agree with everyone with their politics and religion, so I try to never talk about those things because it creates bad blood, and then all of a sudden people don't, they don't follow you on Facebook anymore, and they don't comment or like your videos, and all. So you can feel it from politics. I really stay away from it. Once a year I'll post something on Twitter or Facebook, and then I usually regret it afterwards because it's okay for them to post endless, political things and things that go against my personal faith as a Christian or whatever, and I have to eat a shit sandwich and listen to their stuff all the time, putting me down, putting my religion down. These people are losers that have to believe in a God. I mean, it's like, you can think what you want to think. It's just my belief. I don't wear it on my sleeve. I certainly don't push it on anyone. I have my beliefs. Politically, I have a very sophisticated belief system. Religiously, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. It's that simple. David Bowie believed in God when he died. Thank God. Maybe I'll see him if I pass away here pretty soon. And I'll see, other friends or family. I don't know. It doesn't hurt to believe in it. It doesn't. It's something I've believed in as a child. I have very strong faith, like I believe I'm sitting in this room. It's not something that I think twice about, but for my friends that can't see it or can't understand it, I validate your feelings. And I certainly would never push it on you. If I can help with my unique perspective on life and what's helped me to get through, like I did a thing on depression and anxiety years ago, and it's helped a couple people, and it was worth it. But it's just me. I've had people PM me because of that video. And Dean, what helped you and what books you were talking about. I sent them the PM. Well, these books, they might help you. They helped me. That's how I perceived it. But they might not help you. I don't know. But here they are, just in case you're interested to try it. I certainly don't mind sharing my belief systems with you if it'll help you, So, but with YouTube, it's a huge ocean. And there's so many channels. Some of them are just basically pure entertainment. Some of them are just nothing but wonderful, heartfelt vlogs. Some of them are in beautiful gameplay and just lots of high production qualities. I love the whole cornucopia of it all. I think it's so cool. I'm so proud to feel a part of it. In a day and age where I can't afford to do many other hobbies and interests and things that I'd like to do anymore, it's wonderful to belong to a group of like-minded hobbyists that are passionate and excited about the hobby. We don't all have to agree on everything. We don't all have to like each other, but we're all part of this giant raft out in the ocean, and we can kind of hook up and connect with, and people will kind of come in and out of your life and in and out of your channel over the years, and that's okay. It's almost like characters of a play that come into the set and the play, and they're there for a bit, and then they leave. You may never see them again. They may come back in another act later on, and that's how I view people and friends within this community or group. It's in the end, I'm in awe of it. If I have 100 or 200 people of those 500 subs that like my channel and like what I have to say and consistently tune in to hear what this crazy person has to say, that's great. And if they have a channel at all, I usually try to watch their channels. I have so many subs, 130 or 20 something, I don't know how many, but there's so many I can't see them all and I feel bad. So what I do is I typically will watch, I like vlogs, I love rants and vlogs. I usually always go for the vlogs, a lot of gameplay videos and Hitman, betas and stuff. I'm not really interested because I'm going to wait for that game and just play it when it comes out on a complete disc someday. But it doesn't mean that I don't want to support their channel. I just can't watch every single video to support all of my friends. I wouldn't have time for myself or to play games or anything. So, but I do appreciate the people that go out of their way, even if I don't watch their channel, to consistently watch mine. They'll give it a thumbs up, which is nice. Like I started to say before, it's not even so much for myself. I'm very happy with my friends that I have, in social media in general. Anyone that interacts, sometimes they won't leave a comment on my video, but they'll PM me. I have a couple people that consistently PM me, Dean, I really liked your last video. I'm happy to see you gaming again. I was worried about your health, whatever. And it's just nice. They don't feel comfortable maybe putting the comment, but the fact that they went out of the way to contact me, that's great. Some of them, I can see through my Twitter feed, the ones that like me. If I'm on Twitter with them, if they like my videos, it shows, oh, this one liked my video, that one. Oh, that's good. They didn't leave a comment, but it's nice to know that at least someone watched it. Hopefully they, can sit through the whole thing, but it's nice. The comments let people know. I had a buddy last night that I watched one of his videos he just did recently, and he worked hard on it. Put a lot of effort into it. He barely has any views, not one like, had one comment on it. And this guy, all of his videos are like that, and it's sad. It's sad. This guy has been a channel, it's a good channel. He's got so many wonderful gameplay videos. I could never begin to play that many games, and it's like there's almost no non-existent thumbs up on his videos, very few comments. Some of his earlier videos had a bunch of comments, and it's just sad. It's like, well, why does this person, he's got a lot to say, he has just as sensitive as I am, he's just as emotional and passionate about gaming as me, and it's sad to see people not get the videos and likes. So sometimes I'll watch those people on TV, but I race back to my PC, and I'll look for the same video, and I'll comment on it because I want to support them. To me, that's, if you're really part of the community, whether you have a YouTube channel or not. Some people just have a YouTube channel so they can comment and like other channels, and that's fine. Not everyone feels the need to pontificate. I've got a couple great YouTube friends that did it a year or two ago and were great YouTubers. I loved what they had to say. And for some reason, they gave up on it. Maybe they got embarrassed, they got some confrontational things on their channel, and they didn't like it, and they just closed their channel down. And it's sad. It's like, dude, why don't you? But you'll see them active on Facebook, gaming groups and stuff like that. And they just said, Dean, I just don't really, I'm burned out on the whole YouTube thing. I like to watch it, but I just don't like to do it anymore. You'll see me commenting on Facebook or Twitter. It's fine. We all have our things that we like. But even looking at some of his videos, he didn't get that many comments and likes. And I suffer from a champion complex. I feel for the little guys. The real big YouTube channels like IGN and GameSpot, I rarely will even like those videos, unless it's something I'm really behind on, single-player games or something. I rarely touch it or comment, because no one's really going to care or read it. No one really cares. But my friends with smaller channels with 50 or 100 or 500 or 1,500 or a couple thousand, whatever, those ones I go out of my way to comment, to let them know you have someone that likes you. You have someone here that likes your videos. Sometimes we need to be reminded of that. It's not just enough to have you get 58 views or 158 views or 558 views on your channel on one of your videos. I mean, that's nice, but if there's no comments, I mean, did people even like the video? Did they not like it? I have a couple thumbs up, but I've got some thumbs down too. Is what I'm saying resonating? Do they not like that? I just did this. I've never done. I've always wanted to do a walkthrough since I had my little YouTube channel. So I did this manhunt walkthrough. And I know I posted a 20-part, video of it. I did a couple of video tests at the beginning. Well, I lost like 16 to 20 subs from doing that manhunt. Now, I don't know if they hate manhunt, if it's that they don't like their sub feed being blown up with, YouTube stuff. I don't know. But it's sad that I lost those subs, but I figured, in the end, they're just part of the 300 subs I have that don't really watch my videos. So they probably just didn't like their sub feed getting blown up because I would upload a couple videos a day. One day I think I uploaded like 4 or 5 of them. I've never had a problem with that myself. I mean, I don't watch the subscription feed to see daily who's uploaded a video. What I do is I physically go through and scan through the whole list of all my subscribers. There's a little number next to it, a 1 or a 3, and they've made 3 videos. I didn't even know. So then I click on their thing, and sure as hell I've got some videos or whatever. They've interacted in someone else's video, and you can see it. And so that's how I find out. But like I said before, on the little channels, there's so many guys. Be kind in the community. You see someone that doesn't have a lot of interaction on the channel, give them, it could really makes their day. Just say something nice, just a sentence. Give them a thumbs up. Send them a private message and just say, you know what, you don't have enough subs. You don't have enough viewers. You got a wonderful channel, and I really appreciate it. I've sent so many private PMs like that, just telling people how great they are. Some of them are even on big up-and-coming channels. I just really like what they had to say. I saw a guy yesterday, he's got 180-something thousand subscribers, and I really liked the video he did, and I left him a comment. I haven't heard back from him, doesn't matter. He's inundated with subs and comments and stuff. But it was a nice video, and I really appreciated it. And so I went out of my way to reach out to a fellow gamer. Now he does a Patreon thing and gets monetized, but that's fine. That's what he's in it for. And maybe that's why he can make better content than I can, because he's got a $2,800 camera, he's at home to do better editing and all that stuff, and good for him. To me, I gotta, get this when I can. I'm squeezing this rant out now. Kind of working at home and working at this customer's job. I'm trying to wrap up these cabinets by this weekend. It's a huge job, but it's one that's going to save my bacon for a few months here financially. So it's just killing me. I'm all doped up on narcotics, trying to get through the job and trying to get through even this rant. But I'm just happy to have the work. I like to stay busy and productive. So unfortunately, I'm so tired afterwards. I haven't gamed that much. I did download the wonderful Grand Theft Auto Vice City on the PlayStation 4, and I've had a blast. I haven't played that game, since the early 2000s. I mean, I played it twice, like back to back, and then never touched it again because I kind of burned out on it. So I'm really enjoying that. I've been playing that, posting a few videos on Facebook and pictures and stuff. I love gaming. I wish I could do it more, and I certainly wish I could be a more active participant in the gaming community. I've been invited on so many podcasts, especially in England, through Retro Unlimited, thanks to the wonderful gang of guys there, and on Friday nights, but they're 8 hours ahead, so when they want to do it, my wife is coming home and we're about to have dinner, and one time I even had guests from out of town, but I had already promised Steve and I do the podcast, so I got people that are like bugging me, hey Dean, we're going to sit down and eat here, aren't you going to come in here with us? You haven't seen me in a year or so. I'm like, yeah, hold on, let me finish this 4-hour podcast. So it's just problematic for me, unfortunately. That's why I turned down a lot of these wonderful community things. Scott Bailey, Scott's Game Reviews, and I have talked about doing a joint venture. He would be an exception to the rule. I would go out of my way and buddy up with him and to do something a couple times a month, or do something more fun and humorous. Kind of a yin and yang, because we have a lot in common. We also have a lot of very polarizing views, and that's a good thing, because we find a constructive way to talk about it. And we've had some spirited debates on things, but that's fine. But in the end, Scott will sit and he'll reflect on it, and he'll come back usually with a PM. Yeah, you might have a point in that. You never really thought of that, but I still believe in this, and and that's fine. He likes certain games that I don't. I like certain games that he probably doesn't. He likes certain terms and words, and some of them I don't. I mean, that's the beauty of it, is that we can all be together. I can't think of a better person to buddy up with, because we have almost equally as much in opposites and with our beliefs and things as we do commonality. So it would make probably for a great podcast. And if we can do it, and Scott, if you're hearing this or watching this, he sent me a PM recently at Facebook. I never really answered him. I was having a bad day, but Scott, I'm very interested. If you want to do it, I'm certainly open. We can talk about it. PM me on Facebook or whatever. I think it'd be cool as shit. So anyway, that's my long-winded rant. I haven't been in the proper state of mind to do a detailed, intricate reviews, to sit at my desk and do editing and everything. It's been really tough. So I've been put all my reviews on hold. I got tons of gameplay. It's like jamming up my computer. I got to get rid of it. But I don't want to purge it until I use it in an uploaded video before I dump it. So these vlogs are easy. I just like to talk. And sometimes, I guess that's what my channel is known for, is just me pontificating. Some people like it, some don't, but I appreciate the ones that do. I just want to be part of the gang, that's all. Part of the group, whether it's in the UK or Australia or here in the United States or California, it doesn't matter. I just like to be part of the whole deal. And I appreciate all of my friends, whether you're viewers or you have your own YouTube deal. I try to watch your videos, and I enjoy what each person brings to the table that's part of who they are, part of their personality, their unique opinions and perspectives. That's what it's all about. Right or wrong, it really is all subjective, and it's all for us to enjoy from this wonderful smorgasbord of life and gaming, and, the retro gaming or gaming in general. So, here's the baby. Hi, bud. So, thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate your time and your views, your wonderful comments and interaction. It means the world to me. I'm going through the hardest time I've ever been through. This last year has just been almost laughable, how many bad things could happen to me. But it is what it is. And I'm trying to find the silver lining. And through my wonderful friends, I have found the silver lining. And it's in this wonderful thing called community. So thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your games no matter what they are.